Hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Robert Kulikowski. I'm from the Office of the Mayor, and I'm going to be chairing tonight's public meeting. Okay, let's hold it down. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2008, and it is now 6:10 p.m. This is the public meeting on the revised draft scope of work for the Coney Island rezoning project. This is the first opportunity for you to provide comments on this document. This meeting is being held pursuant to Article 8 of the New York State Environmental Conservation Law. It's implementing regulations found in Title 6 of the New York Codes, Rules, and Regulations, Part 617, and Title 62 of the Rules of the City of New York, Chapter 5, basically known as the Rules of Procedure for City Environmental Quality Review. However, can we keep it down? Thank you. I'm an old college professor. I will wait. However, before we begin, I'd like to take a few minutes to provide some background on the city's environmental review process. We'll follow that with a short presentation of the proposed project and any possible effects on the environment that have been identified. Finally, I'll review the procedures we will use here tonight in the public portion of the meeting, and we'll hear your comments. Whenever the city proposes a project such as this, it must comply with the state environmental review law to see if the project will have the potential to adversely impact the environment. Under the city's procedures, the process known as City Environmental Quality Review, or SEQR, 20 different areas are examined for potential impacts ranging from land use and public policy to hazardous materials and air quality to public health. Environmental review is a stepwise process, meaning that each analysis area has a threshold against which potential effects are measured. This first level of assessment is done by completing an environmental assessment statement, or EAS. If a threshold is not met or exceeded, then there is no significant effect for that area and no further analysis is required. If none of the 20 thresholds are exceeded, then a negative declaration is issued, a statement that the proposed action would not have a significant effect on the environment, and the environmental review process is completed. However, if any threshold is exceeded, then further analysis is required to determine if there would be an adverse impact and how significant it would be. If this additional analysis shows that there are potential significant impacts identified, then the lead agency for the environmental review, and in this case, the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, issues a positive declaration, including the direction that an environmental impact statement, or EIS, be prepared to fully disclose all of the potential impacts, offer possible mitigation measures for such impacts, and to outline possible alternatives to the project. State Environmental Quality Review and SEQR require that the proposed action avoids or minimizes adverse environmental impacts to the maximum extent practicable. Environmental review is the public process that begins when the lead agency publishes the positive declaration and notice of intent to prepare an EIS. At the same time, a draft scope of work is published that describes, on a project-specific basis, the areas that will be analyzed and how these analyses will be performed. When the draft scope of work is published, the required public meeting is also noticed in the city record, along with a request for the public to comment on the identification of issues to be addressed in the draft Environmental Impact Statement, or DEIS. The required city record notice was published in 3 consecutive issues on May 23rd, 27th, and 28th of this year for this project. And additionally, the notice was published on June 10th in newspapers of general circulation, including El Diario, Courier Life, New York Post, and Novoye Ruski Slovo. All documents have been publicly available on the website of the Mayor's Office of Environmental Coordination and the New York City Economic Development Corporation since May 23rd. The purpose of this meeting is specifically to hear your comments on the draft scope of work. Are there issues that are not included but should be? Are some of the proposed analyses not necessary? Are there special conditions or concerns that need to be brought to the attention of the lead agency? This meeting and the comment periods that follow will be the opportunity to raise other concerns about how the DEIS will be prepared. Tonight's meeting is the second public scoping meeting for the program rezoning project. The first meeting was held in February of this year, but following that meeting, continued conversations between the city and the community and stakeholders resulted in slight modifications to the initial proposal. As a result, the lead agency issued a revised EAS, positive declaration, draft scope of work that reflect these modifications, and this meeting is to hear your comments on the revised draft scope. These slight modifications will not fundamentally change what will be analyzed on the DEIS or the way it will come on and speak. Regarding scoping, there is essentially no difference between the initially proposed rezoning framework and what is being proposed today. All comments that were received from the initial scoping meeting, as well as those received in response to this session, will be considered when incorporated as appropriate to the final scope of work of the DEIS. The DEIS will also be the subject of its own public hearing. In this case, because of the rezoning, this hearing will be held concurrently with the public hearing on the project required by the city's Uniform Land Use Review Procedure, or ULUR, which will be duly noticed at a later date. Comments received on the DEIS will be considered and incorporated as appropriate into the final EIS, which is the document the city uses to base its decision on how to proceed with the project. The rationale for this decision is set forth in the document called the Statement of Findings. So just to recap, this is a public meeting, a hearing on the draft scope of work for the modified proposed rezoning. We're here to listen to your comments. It's not a question and answer period. All comments are addressed as appropriate in the final scope of work. Now I'd like to introduce Coney, who's the Director of the Open Office of the Department of City Planning, who will provide a brief overview of the proposed rezoning, specifically pointing out the modifications that have been made.
Thanks. Can we get the lights down, do you think, or not? Or else not? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Coney. I am the Director of the Office of City Planning, Brooklyn, and I'm going to walk you through the proposal, the rezoning proposal and its modifications, and then open it to the public session. So this rezoning, as it is presented today, is a joint effort of several city agencies, including the Department of City Planning, New York City Economic Development Corporation, Department of Parks and Recreation, Department of Housing Preservation and Development, and Department of Small Business Services. The presentation outlined tonight, we will go through the background and rezoning goals, the land use framework, the rezoning proposal, and then the next steps in scoping here. This is where this plan started. There was a strategic plan that was put out by the mayor, a CIDC's form, and a vision was put out to create a year-round activity and entertainment area in Coney Island. Also look at enhancing the amusements and the attractions here, while at the same time looking at the larger neighborhood with an eye to creating a vibrant year-round community, both for people who live and work here and for the amusement area. Is this better?
What they doing out here? Right there. Right there.